Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K Collector, and on this Friday morning, I want to remind you that haters are gonna hate and ballers are going to ball. No matter what it is that you decide to do in life, the more you progress, the better you become, the higher you go, is the more you're going to attract envy. Envy is the oldest thing on planet Earth. In fact, envy was the cause of the first murder. If you believe in the Bible, envy is the cause for the first murder on planet Earth. You know, where Cain killed his brother Abel? He killed his brother because he was envious. He was envious of the favor that Abel had in the eyes of God. And hate is something as old as time, man. It's never going to go away. And what I've learned over time is that when people start to hate on you, whether the hate is loud or the hate is quiet, because there's two types of hate. You have the loud hate, people who aggressively come at you. They're loud about how much they hate you. They proclaim it. They shout it on the top of the rooftops, which I actually prefer that form of hate. But then you have the more devious form of hate, where you have people who quietly hate you. They quietly hate on you. They connive and devise ways to create your downfall because they have such vitriol, they have such hate in their heart for you. And this is something that you're going to see throughout your entire life. You're going to see people hate, and you're going to see people get hated on. And I guarantee you, no one hates on someone who's a loser. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed how a person who loses never gets hated on? Have you ever noticed how a person who doesn't have things that other people want never gets hated on? The people who get hated on are always people who are winning in life in some way, shape, or form. Y2K, why are you talking about this on a Friday morning? Well, it's because I saw a report, and we're going to tie this back to video games, trust me. But I saw a report this morning that the NBA ratings, since the Lakers have been eliminated from the NBA playoffs, that the ratings have dropped 38%. 38%, right? And we know that a large part of that 38% is because of LeBron James. Now, LeBron James is an extremely polarizing player at this stage of his career. I think when LeBron first came into the league, I think he was generally overall loved and appreciated by the majority. I think a lot of people have, they appreciated LeBron's talent. They appreciated who he might become. But I think he first lost his first set of devoted fans with the decision, which we all know, which is when he decided to go to Miami, right? He lost a lot of fans. He lost a lot of love with that move. Then he decided to go back to Cleveland. He won a championship in 2016. And even though he won that championship in 2016 in Cleveland and kind of redeemed himself, there was still somewhat of this hate, right? There was still somewhat of this, I would say, resentment towards LeBron by many. And it was because I think a lot of it stems from his comparison to greatness, right? His comparison to Michael Jordan, who many people deify in the world of sports. And by deify, I mean they literally look at Michael Jordan as some type of god, as some type of mythical, untouchable creature that will never be eclipsed no matter what anyone does, right? And I think the more LeBron has done, the more people start to hate, no matter how much he accomplishes, no matter what he does. And the guy's not perfect. He does a lot of things that bother me. Sometimes I think his attitude can be sour. I don't think he's always made the right choices when it comes to expressing himself in, public media. He's made mistakes, but no one is perfect. Like no one's perfect. And if you think about it, a lot of the things that people hate LeBron for are rather trivial. He's never killed anyone. He's never been convicted or of any type of crime. Of course, there are tons of allegations, and of course, tons of people make up stuff about him. But until anything is proven in a court of law, you can miss me with all that stuff. I know there's the whole Diddy thing going around. Again, unless you have unless a judge slams the gavel saying that he is guilty of whatever people are making up on the internet, as far as I'm concerned, that information is as good as what you would get from the National Enquirer, right? There's no weight to that stuff. But he is a person that the internet thoroughly does not like, right? And so many people are saying he needs to retire. He needs to retire. We're tired of seeing him. We're tired of seeing him. And yet, when he's out of the playoffs, not only does the national ratings drop by 40%, but even to this day, you still have content creators with his name in their mouth. You still have people going online and talking about LeBron in some way, shape, or form. And they do that because the videos that content creators make on YouTube that include LeBron's name get more views than probably other content that they create. So they hate the guy, but they love making content about the guy because that's the only content that gets them views. And this is the thing that kind of blows me away, and it kind of goes back to something that I said a few weeks ago. When you don't like something, like if I don't like something or if I don't like someone, they just simply do not exist to me. I don't talk about them. I don't think about them. I don't reference them in anything that I'm doing. They become non-existent, right? But the thing is, it's not that these people don't care about LeBron. It's in what I call hate. It's the same thing that a lot of people, and I'm not saying everyone envies LeBron. I'm not saying that. I think there are people who do genuinely dislike him, but I think there are also a lot of people who secretly envy what he's been able to accomplish. And because we've been able to get so close to LeBron through social media, a lot of people feel like they're close to him. They feel like they know him because they're connected to him on Instagram. Whereas with Jordan, there was never any Instagram link that you could connect to Jordan. You never got an inside look at what it looks like to eat dinner on a Tuesday night at Jordan's house. You never got that close. And there's an old saying that says familiarity breeds contempt. And it's a very good saying, right? And I think because of the familiarity that this generation has had with LeBron James, it's created an insurmountable level of contempt for the dude that at this stage in his career, he is extremely polarizing, and you have a firm camp that just has nothing but pure contempt for him. And Jordan never allowed you to get close enough to build that contempt for him. Regardless of what he did on the court, you just never could get that close to Jordan. Even now, you still can't get close to Jordan. You don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? This is why Jordan has that mythical feeling to him, because he feels so far away. Like he feels so distant that you can't get close enough to him to see who he is as a person. And we not only have been able to see LeBron James, the basketball player, but we've also gotten a lot of insight on LeBron James, the philanthropist, the father, the family man. We've got to see and hear his political views. We've got to hear his stances on different things in pop culture and in media. We've gotten insight on the way LeBron thinks, how he feels, in ways that we never got to with Jordan. And again, all of that familiarity has bred contempt. So this is my thought, right? Then this is what I say here. I do not think that any of this matters to LeBron, because at the end of the day, he knows what he's done. And as much as people hate him, think about how many children he's sent to college. Think about how much he's done for his local community. Think about everything that he's done to give back. No one's going to remember that. No one is going to care about that stuff. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has done so much from a philanthropic perspective, but no one's going to care about that. A lot of people don't care about what you do that's good. A lot of people focus on the negative, because the negative stuff is what gets people views. And I just woke up this morning and I saw that and I said, wow, ratings have dropped 40% the second this guy is no longer in the playoffs. And now, and all of the people who said they can't wait for him to be knocked out or they don't like him, now they're making tons of content about him still. And you're going to see that in life. The more you become successful, the more you do, people will find reasons not to like you. You don't really have to do much. People will go and dig up reasons and find reasons, even if those reasons are simple comparisons to a contemporary of yours, right? They might like the way someone else that does what you do, they might like the way they do it better. And because of that, now they don't like you. But do not let that stop your grind. Do not let that stop your hustle. Because if no one's hating on you, you're not doing anything great. That's my opinion. I know this is kind of like a little bit different from what I typically talk about, but the same could be said on YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube content creators on here. We have a lot of people trying to start pages and start, to grow their channels. And I'm seeing a lot of people, do some good things on YouTube within the retro gaming space. Shout out to Grailbound Gaming. Shout out to another game collector. Shout out to Easy Gamers. Shout out to, anyone who has kind of started a YouTube channel and they're building their channel up out of the mud, and they're growing and they're chipping away and they're growing their numbers and they're growing their views. Shout out to you guys, because you're daring to be great. Not everybody, it takes a lot to stand in front of a camera. Even I can't stand in front of the camera. That's why I got the camera pointed at a bunch of PSP games. But shout out to you guys who are taking the chance, taking the risk to start a YouTube channel and do something different and be great. You're gonna have haters. It's the way it's gonna work. But you can't have haters unless you're on a path to greatness. So hopefully this encourages anyone who's trying to do something different, who's got goals, who's got aspirations, who's stepping out of their comfort zone. Hope this Friday morning boost of encouragement inspires you to go make a new video. I just saw that stat and I had to talk about it. But let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you in the next video. Oh, also, before I go, shout out to Pete Dorr. Saw that he had a major heart attack. Pete is definitely an OG retro gaming content creator. I've learned a lot from him myself, especially when I first started my YouTube channel. And I've actually bought games from him at the Long Island Retro Expo. I think he was there a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. He had a booth set up, and I'm pretty sure I bought like some Xbox 360 games. So thank you for those, Pete, wherever you are. Hopefully you're resting up. Hopefully you're feeling better. And hopefully we see you back on YouTube real soon. But that does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.